Hi everyone, we are on to another series of how to live life inside life, brought to you by Life Skills Foundation. Here we'll look at our relationship with fearful thoughts. What a relationship, would they say? I'm sure many won't even want to have any iota of such relationships, but you are human. Some relationships are inevitable, but you just devise coping mechanisms and you start enjoying the relationship. Yes, you got to enjoy it. That's our job. And that's why we are here at the Life Skills Foundation, living life inside life series. You get the answers. Yes, you can't control always what thoughts show up in your mental field or head, but you have power of choice to choose your response. You are being kidnapped by the most boring person on earth and forced to listen to them from the moment you wake up until you helplessly fall asleep. This kidnapper is your often unsolicited and compulsive thought. Essentially, you must note that heaven and hell are no geographical locations. It's thoughts, actions, behaviors that create it. Yes, you heard me right. Practically, can you control what birds fly across your head? But you can sure stop the bird from building a nest on your head. That's why where your power is. Being afraid of thought gives it power. Thoughts of fear, which is the predominant negative thoughts of the mind, is significant because it overshadows all other dimensions of the mind. You may not know, but your mind has 6 dimensions, and that's a series for another session. Fearful thoughts is equivalent to a bully, as your fear of the bully will have emboldened him to attack you more. Same thing applies to fearful thoughts. Just be okay with the discomfort of thoughts of fear. Don't feed it. Don't go looking for verses in the good books to neutralize fearful thoughts. People seem to think that there are some secrets on how to be free of negativity or negative fearful thoughts, and they keep searching for solutions when in truth there is no secret. It's just a choice that you make to change your reaction to your mind's thoughts. If you can't make this choice, no amount of practices, techniques, medications can give you lasting or sustainable solution. And if you can make this choice, you don't need any external help or crutch. But you may ask, but it is not easy to make a choice being relaxed when the mind is producing torrents of fearful negative thoughts. Well, this is coming from a position of helplessness. Let me let you know. Relax does not mean to be blissed out. Relax means be open to what is arising instead of freaking out or closing down. Just like saying to yourself, I don't mind what arises. I don't mind what arises. If fear is arising, allow it to happen in the mind and the body. Allow the thoughts to be. This will surprise the mind, and the mind acts. This is too simple. I don't want to be stuck in this fear forever because this man is allowing everything to arise. This is because the mind equates and interprets doing something as creating solution. Mark this fact. The mind is often action-oriented and wants action plan. There is, however, a silent secret about the mind, and that is this. When you want to use willpower or conscious will to stop thinking, our sense of willful agency as human beings is solely derived from thought. So the mind cannot by itself nature will it cease its own cessation. You get that? You have to deeply know that you are the observer, the watcher, witness of the mind. We will teach you this practice as we proceed. But to be just allowing is the dumbest thing to do as far as the mind is concerned. And it's scary to the mind, and it keeps saying, do something. Do something. If you are conscious of this pattern of the mind and not bite into it, you have just conquered the mind. So be open. Allow your fearful thoughts to arise. Otherwise, you fear your fearful thoughts. You fear your fearful thoughts, and you just found a shorter cut to meet it. When you fear your fearful thoughts, you found a shorter cut to meet it. But let me tell you something. You and the mind that is producing the fear are not in the same level. You are before the mind. The mind is a part of you, not who you essentially are. You are pure consciousness. You are pure consciousness. You are pure awareness, a being, an eternal. You must know this. your spiritual dimension of you and be resolutely aware that you are a spiritual being having a human or physical experience and not the other way around, and that your spiritual nature is not damaged or affected by your physical experiences, whether positive or negative. Call the bluff of fearful thoughts from your awareness of this dimension of being in you. Know that fearful thoughts are only produced in the mind, a product of defective imagination, an output of neural networks responding to interpretations and projections conjured up because certain neurons and memories has been triggered. That is what the thoughts are. The mind producing such fearful thoughts is mechanical, operating like a programmed computer, giving illusions of intelligence. You don't have to fear the mind when it throws up fearful thoughts. It's only doing its job, just like the artery is pumping blood. You can't stop the mind because this is its evolutionary function. If you try to stop the mind, it will say more. Don't go this direction, it never works. It's never worked for anybody. Your energy to stop thoughts acts as an indirect focus and fuel for the thoughts to metasize or expand in you. One thing you should know is this, that the language of the mind or the brain is thoughts, while the language of the body is emotion. The fearful thoughts is just a defective use of your cognitive imagination, and that there is nothing out there to threaten you except if there is a real danger. Then you fear. Your fear will be justified, but then you diffuse and expend the energy of fear by taking action. That's right. If there is no real fear and you engage, nourish fearful thoughts, it will trigger corresponding emotions, since the way you think is the way you feel, and the way you feel is the way you think, and the vicious circle continues in you. Since there is no real threat and your fearful thoughts has set off the alarm hormones of cortex and adrenaline, then the energy will not be used or expanded or released, and it is stored up in your body system. It comes out as a negative thing in your body. This unused energy is capable of causing you suffering later because it's still lingering in you and unreleased. If it were real threats, the energy would have been used or released by taking flight, fight, or freeze action or response. If you engage in this unproductive thinking for extensive period of time, your body may be diseased. Unexpanded and unused energy of the negative thoughts will be stored in your body. This stored unused energy attracts more negativity into your life and reality, especially when you encounter things that can trigger them. Remember, danger is real, but fear is a choice. We will go deeper on that on other series. But you just have to break this vicious circle in you and rewire your brain to know that the fearful thoughts are just electrical and chemical storm of thoughts and outputs of neural networks processing events through the lenses of past experiences. We will bring you more pointers to this as we proceed. So always call the bluff of your fearful thoughts. Fear is like a terrorist, a bully in the mental world or space. Yes, the terror uses the weapon of impending doom, destruction, and threats of what they can potentially do to scare you. Governments says we don't have to negotiate with terrorists. Nigerian government, American government says we don't have to negotiate with terrorists. But you, in your personal life, is negotiating with terrorists called fear. Are you a lawbreaker? It shouldn't be so. Be okay with the thoughts of fear. Allow the feeling. Bring inner fearlessness to the thoughts of fear. Don't fear fear. Call its bluff. Know who you are. It's such a simple logic. Learn to not listen to yourself. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Know the greater force within you is bigger than the obstacles around you. And greater is he that is in you. Call its bluff. Don't engage in avoidance of fearful thoughts. Don't hide from it or employ other compulsions. It never works for anybody. You embolden the bully called fear because it sees it as an indirect focus. When you run into fears, it runs away. That's one problem with fear. The problem isn't the fearful thoughts. The problem is in your identification with the thoughts of fear. Notice this nuance. Finally, we urge you to take these pointers to heart and see how it resonates with you. And we caution that it is calling on goal to spiritualize natural occurrences. Nothing is spiritual about thoughts. God has given you dominion. So one thinks, you are here to rule, not to be ruled. The blessings of the universe is open to all to access with correct knowledge. Remember, we live in a world where what is believed is more important than the truth. Question your beliefs. Who said you cannot question it? Question it and seek the truth. Click and subscribe to our channels and social media handles for more of our programs. How to live life inside life. Peace.